Okay, test number one is going to be with the red labeled number one mixer. We're going to connect it to the two motors. This is going to be our front motor being connected with the red wire removed for power, so we'll be only using one power wire to power the mixer. And we've got the first one inserted, the second one inserted. The control or the signal wires are being matched with the orange signal wires here on this side. We'll connect the pot closest to the mixer, or the pot side of the mixer, to the gyro. We'll connect the other side of the mixer to channel 3 on our unit. We'll leave our mixer pot setting here in the middle to see just initial power up and testing. So the radio is now on. I'll go ahead and power up our unit. And we have connection, but the ESCs don't fire up, so we're not getting any throttle control to our helicopter through mixer red 1. We'll disconnect this one. Connect mixer number red 2. Same connections. Plugging into our throttle channel, our gyro, our back side of the mixer, and of course the one with the missing the power wire, we're connecting that to the front side of the mixer. Again, we will set the pot in the middle. Interesting thing's going to happen here. You'll notice that this gyro, red number 2, or this mixer, will power up the ESCs at different times. So there's the first ESC and the second ESC now engaging. So they're throttling up separately. I'm unable to tune this mixer, red number 2, at all to get any kind of stop in the spinning of the helicopter. I've tried reversing the gyro, reversing the plugs, and I can't really get it under any kind of control, whether I turn it all the way down or I turn it all the way up. It's real challenging to try and set this one. I got it pretty close, but I still can't eliminate a spin with this pot. But now both motors will fire up, and we'll get power to all the units. Let's go ahead and power down. And we will put in green number 1. Identical connections again. We'll run this mixer pot in the center, and we'll power up again. This time it's an immediate startup. Both ESCs sounded their tune at the exact same time. This mixer here, I've actually tuned to being able to fly the helicopter with a fairly decent amount of control. Still haven't fully tuned it in yet. Some still slight adjustment between the mixer and the gyro, but pretty darn close to being able to fly accurately with this mixer so far. Still a little bit of control problem with the yaw control, but I think that's something that I can dial in with just a little bit more goofing around with it. But at least this one here, we get both motors firing up. We can control through mixer adjustment whether or not we're getting the top or the bottom rotor spinning first, which allows us to be able to really tune it in quite well. So mixer number 1 green seems to be functioning perfectly. Power down again. We'll disconnect. And this will be the first test of green number 2. I haven't actually connected this one before, so let's see what happens here. Again, we're going to make sure that our pot setting is right in the middle. Okay, so we're right in the middle there. And we'll go ahead and power up now. Looks like we've got both ESCs powering up at the same time, looking like green number 2 maybe. Green number 2 seems to be functioning exactly the same as green number 1. The bottom rotor starts with the center in the middle slightly before the top rotor, which is what we want to achieve. I get that both with both of the green ones, and with one of the red ones we've got red number 1, we received absolutely no power to anything, and red number 2 independently fires up the ESCs at different times, and also always starts the top rotor no matter what adjustment I've made to it. It always starts the top rotor first. Here was the original replacement mixer that I received from you guys, and this is the one. I can give you a quick demonstration. If I connect this one and leave the gyro gain setting turned up a little bit more than what it is now, it'll automatically start up the rotors, but I won't do a test on that since I currently don't have my turntable operational to be able to demonstrate that, and I don't want the helicopter to go flying around the shed when I power it up. So this mixer, which was the original replacement I was sent, this one's definitely got some sort of significant programming issue. But I am quite puzzled as the difference between red number 1 and red number 2. Red number 1 giving me nothing to the motors, and red number 2 giving me something to the rotors, but it just doesn't seem like I can tune it. And green number 1 and 2 seem to work identical, so it looks like this is the optimum mixer settings of whatever was adjusted internally.